Did you know that almost 50% of marriages end in divorce due to poor communication? Or that subtle habits like emotional neglect or constant complaining can slowly destroy a relationship without you even noticing? In fact, many people unknowingly push their partners away by doing things they think are harmless. What if you could easily spot these habits and stop them before it's too late? In this video, we're going to uncover the 6 surprising behaviors that are silently sabotaging your relationships. You'll learn practical strategies to break these patterns and build a stronger, healthier bond with the person you love. Stick around, because the truth about these behaviors might just surprise you and change the way you look at love forever. Chapter 1: The Invisible Wall. Emotional neglect in disguise. When it comes to relationships, the biggest killer isn't always fighting, it's the silent emotional distance that grows over time. Emotional neglect can be sneaky. You might be physically present, but mentally checked out. According to research by the National Institute of Mental Health, feeling emotionally unsupported can increase stress and anxiety, both for you and your partner. The key here is simple: engage emotionally. Instead of zoning out when your partner shares their feelings, try to listen actively. That means putting down your phone and being fully present in the moment. Studies show that couples who engage in deep emotional conversations tend to have stronger bonds. So, next time your partner talks about their day, don't just nod, ask questions, show curiosity, and make them feel heard. Another powerful way to break down emotional walls is by showing affection. It doesn't always have to be grand gestures. Small acts like holding hands or giving a compliment can rebuild intimacy. According to Dr. John Gottman, a relationship researcher, small moments of connection often predict long-term relationship success. Take a moment to ask yourself, are you emotionally available, or are you just physically present? If you find yourself disconnecting emotionally, it may be time to rebuild the bridge that brings you closer. Chapter 2: The Silent Distance. The power of unspoken words. Have you ever sat in a room with your partner, both of you silently scrolling through your phones? It might seem harmless, but this kind of silence can erode your connection. In fact, ignoring issues or avoiding important conversations can create emotional gaps that lead to frustration and distance. Communication is the glue that holds relationships together. In a study by the University of California, it was found that couples who engage in regular, open communication are 50% more likely to stay together. Talking through issues, even the small ones, prevents misunderstandings from snowballing into bigger problems. When communication breaks down, it's not just the words you don't say that matter, it's the unspoken tension. If you're feeling upset, frustrated, or unsure about something in the relationship, it's important to express it before it festers. Ignoring your partner's feelings can give them the impression that you don't care or that they don't matter. Instead of bottling things up, embrace the discomfort of honest conversation. While it can be tough to open up, it strengthens trust and keeps the relationship healthy. A great way to ease into difficult topics is by using I statements. For example, saying "I feel hurt when you don't listen" is less confrontational than "you never listen to me." Remember, silence may feel safe, but it can be toxic in relationships. If you want to thrive in love, let your words create the connection, not the distance. Chapter 3: Perfectionism. Why your need for control might be killing connection. Perfectionism can be a major relationship killer. When you're constantly striving for the perfect partner, perfect life, or perfect relationship, you may not realize you're unknowingly pushing people away. In a study conducted by the American Psychological Association, 70% of people said they felt emotionally drained by their partner's high expectations. No one wants to be in a relationship where every action is scrutinized or judged. If you find yourself always trying to fix your partner or control the situation, it might be time to let go. Real love thrives on acceptance, not perfection. Research from the University of Chicago supports this idea. Couples who embrace each other's flaws, rather than focusing on the flaws themselves, report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction. The most successful relationships are those where both partners accept each other for who they truly are, imperfections and all. Instead of focusing on the perfect way your partner should act, try to practice compassion and understanding. This means acknowledging their mistakes without making them feel inferior or ashamed. You don't need to change someone to love them, you just need to love them as they are. Let go of the idea of control and instead, focus on the deeper connection you share. The more you can appreciate the uniqueness of your partner, the more your relationship will grow. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. Real, lasting love comes from embracing imperfection with open arms. Don't forget to subscribe. We have more powerful strategies to transform your relationship and build the connection you've always wanted. Chapter 4: The Energy Drain. How constant complaining turns off love. Constant complaining might feel like a weight event, but it can slowly drain the energy out of a relationship. It's natural to get frustrated now and then, but if your conversations are mostly negative, it can create an emotional burden on your partner. According to research from the University of California, negative communication patterns, like frequent complaining, are linked to a higher risk of divorce. Your partner might feel overwhelmed by your constant focus on the bad, and it can make them feel powerless to change things. If every conversation is about what's wrong, they might start avoiding those discussions altogether. Complaining can also shift your focus from solutions to problems, leading to a sense of helplessness. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, try practicing gratitude. According to Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher on gratitude, people who express gratitude regularly have stronger, more satisfying relationships. Start by telling your partner what you appreciate about them, no matter how small it seems. This simple shift can dramatically change the tone of your relationship. Another key strategy is to reframe negative thoughts. When something goes wrong, instead of complaining, try asking yourself, what can I learn from this? Or what can I do differently next time? This mindset shift can create a more positive, solution-focused environment. The less you complain, the more energized and connected your relationship will feel. Chapter 5: Over-Reliance. How clinginess turns affection into an anchor. It's easy to think that the more time you spend with your partner, the stronger the bond. But being too clingy can actually weaken the relationship over time. Clinginess often stems from a fear of abandonment or insecurity, which can create an emotional strain for both partners. According to Dr. Sue Johnson, an expert in attachment theory, people with anxious attachment styles often feel overwhelmed when they depend too heavily on their partner for emotional security. One of the key signs of clinginess is needing constant reassurance. If you find yourself asking, "Do you love me?" over and over, you might be relying too much on your partner for validation. While it's natural to want affection, constantly seeking it can push your partner away, making them feel trapped rather than loved. Instead of leaning so heavily on your partner for emotional fulfillment, try to build self-confidence and independence. The more emotionally secure you are on your own, the stronger and healthier your connection with your partner will be. You might also want to engage in activities that boost your self-worth, like pursuing personal goals or spending time with friends. Remember, a relationship is a partnership, not a dependency. By giving each other space to grow, you'll create a stronger emotional bond. In the end, when you can stand on your own and still choose to be with your partner, the relationship will feel more balanced and fulfilling. Chapter 6: The Ghost of the Past. How unresolved baggage sabotages your future. We all carry emotional baggage from past relationships, whether it's trust issues, unresolved conflicts, or painful memories. And while we might think we've moved on, this baggage often shows up in the form of unintended triggers. If you've been hurt in the past, it's easy to bring those fears and insecurities into a new relationship without realizing it. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that unresolved trauma from previous relationships can lead to emotional dysfunction in future ones. If you've been hurt before, it's important to acknowledge that past pain, but not let it control your present. Unresolved baggage can cause you to overreact to situations, making your partner feel misunderstood or criticized. For example, if your past partner was untrustworthy, you might be quick to accuse your current partner of lying, even when there's no reason to suspect them. This behavior can create unnecessary tension and push your partner away. The first step in healing from past wounds is to acknowledge them. Instead of letting them fester, talk about your fears and past experiences with your partner. It's also helpful to engage in self-reflection and therapy if necessary. Studies show that people who actively work on self-awareness have more successful and stable relationships. Another important step is forgiveness, not just for your ex, but for yourself. holding on to grudges can keep you emotionally stuck. By letting go of the past, you free yourself to love more openly and fully. As Dr. John Gottman advises, forgiveness is not about forgetting, it's about choosing to move forward without the burden of past mistakes. Embracing the present and future, free from the weight of the past, is key to building a strong, healthy relationship. Letting go of old emotional baggage will create space for a fresh connection to bloom, where trust and love can thrive. Conclusion: the behaviors we often overlook in relationships, emotional neglect, unspoken distance, perfectionism, complaining, clinginess, and unresolved baggage, are the ones that create the biggest walls. These habits, though seemingly minor, can accumulate over time and push people away without us even realizing. But the good news is, all of these behaviors can be changed. By focusing on emotional engagement, honest communication, self-confidence, gratitude, and self-awareness, you can nurture a deeper, more fulfilling relationship. It's time to let go of habits that aren't serving you and embrace strategies that build trust, connection, and lasting love. After all, love isn't about being perfect, it's about growing together.